Hello there, my very good friends. On this wrestling news video, we're going to tell you about a booking slowdown in AEW.
Swerve Strickland says signing with AEW should be like joining the Lakers.
A big update on Buddy Matthews and his injury.
And AEW's plans for the Motor City Machine Guns have been revealed. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the After News.
Yes. Let's talk about some silly wrestling stuff. After talking about Night of Champions and the situation surrounding that. If you want to hear the latest on that situation, we have the morning news video out right now. But for now, we're going to talk about some... This is all AEW, isn't it?
Yeah.
These stories. Cool. Let's talk AEW. Right. It's a situation that's caused a bit of a knock-on effect, a bit of a booking slowdown in AEW. Stems from Christian Cage and the patriarchy. Now, recently, Christian Cage has intimated that he wants him and Nick Wayne to be the first father-son tag team champions in AEW. So clearly that he has plans with that stable that he wants to see through, and that is the content of this report here from Fightful. Sean Ross Sapp was doing one of his Q&A things on Fightful Select. He was asked, you wrote not so long ago about how the plan was to run Cope and Christian versus FTR at All In. From what you have heard, is that still the plan? We're running out of time.
Definitely not.
Yeah, we're running out of time for that. When is that? Like 3 weeks?
Yeah.
It's close.
Yeah, it's less than 3 weeks now, so if they're going to get around to it, they need to...
Yeah, super close. Now, Sean wrote in response, it is still a plan, but I haven't heard if that's still the plan for All In. From what I understand, Christian wants to make sure that things with the patriarchy are fleshed out. That has caused some slowdown on a lot of performers. So I read this as Christian Cage has a vision, a creative thing that he wants to see through with the stable. And he's quite steadfast with that. This is my interpretation of the report. It's editorializing. And as a result of that, maybe some ideas other people have had to have been postponed that involve other people, if that makes sense. So, for example, in this situation, if AEW did want to run Cope and Christian versus FTR at All In, perhaps the situation was, okay, we can do that, but not until I've resolved this, and this with the patriarchy. For me, that's very fair.
Yeah.
That's very fair. FTR took Cope out to facilitate his current absence from TV. That was their heel turn and all this stuff. And it's a tag team. Edge and Christian is a tag team I have bucket loads of nostalgia for. Obviously, that was my era as a teenager. 5-second pose, all of that. Reeking of awesomeness. Conquistadors. Kazoos, yeah. Good stuff. That's how a kazoo sounds.
Yeah. We got one in the office somewhere.
We used to.
Unless I swallowed it.
Yeah, I think it. Maybe I put it in the bin when it made my tinnitus 10 times worse.
You took it too far.
Yeah. I was like, gosh, there's a screaming in my head every day. I think the reunion tag team match can wait. Is my point.
I agree, and I hope that they don't do it now, All In, genuinely. Because we won't be there. So I would love to be in attendance for this. So I hope they do it at Forbidden Door, for example, if we are lucky enough to attend that. But there's numerous things I think about this. Be a real fast pivot if suddenly they were like, Christian Cage is a good guy now, and he's back with Cope, and they're fighting FTR in. Like you say, 3 Dynamites?
Yes.
We'd have. No, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. I don't want this speed run, basically. And secondly, credit to Christian Cage for no, I've got, because there's been a lot of work put into generally the patriarchy, but particularly this friction, let's say, right now between Christian Cage and Nick Wayne, and for them to sort of go right, that's out of the way. Cope's here now. It just wouldn't be fair, to be perfectly honest. I think there is. Still fun to be had, as you mentioned. I enjoyed him coming out in Collision and being like, father and son tag team champions. And they're seemingly doing stuff with Big Bill and Brian Keith next. I'm excited for FTR, Cope and Christian, as you say, for all that. But All In is already, I mean, to be honest, they could just say stop now for All In, and I'd be like, I'll watch that. How many matches they got? 3 or 4 matches, the biggest matches that they can possibly book. Hangman Page, Mox, obviously Mercedes, Tony Storm, and Omega Okada off the top of my head. It's the big match that we can confirmed. I've no doubt there's going to be many more added in the coming weeks as we head towards All In on July 12th, I want to say. But as much as I want to see this match, it doesn't have to be at All In.
No, I agree. The only way I could see them doing it now is if they decided they wanted to boost ticket sales.
Yeah.
If they decided that was something that would would improve attendance or whatever. But then, like you say, they're rushing it and it's speed run, and it's like creatively it doesn't add up at the moment. And yeah, like, look, Christian has been the biggest scumbag heel in AEW for about 3 years. Like, you got a lot of work to do if you want to babyface that guy.
A reunion with Cope would fix things very quickly, but it's weird to be like, he literally said, go F yourself to Cope many, many moons ago, and he's done said some terrible things.
It has to make sense. You can't just go, hey, they're friends again.
Yeah.
You have to tell that spin that yarn, tell that story. And also, fair play for Christian, by the way, as well, because this is a very important story for Nick Wayne in particular.
Yes.
I know he's like 19 or whatever. I know he has years ahead of him. But in my eyes, I don't know if I'm on an island with this. I think that Nick Wayne is one of the most promising wrestlers in the entire world. I think he's awesome. I think he has tremendous instincts for pro wrestling. And I think that in a few years, once he's had his Kyle Fletcher-esque glow up, we're going to be talking about Nick Wayne as a big, big time player. This is a very important storyline for him. So kudos to Christian for going, no, we're doing this, baby.
That's what good dads do. Hey?
Yeah. Father of the year. Father of the year.
Sticking with AEW, Swerve has been chatting to, I've just lost my notes. No, there they are. The Battleground podcast about signing with AEW, and he has high expectations, and credit to him for this, talking about how basically signing with AEW should be like signing for the Lakers. I assume he means the LA Lakers. I'm not that glued up on basketball, but I get it.
LeBron.
Yes.
He's there.
Yeah,
he's there.
Swish.
Luka Doncic.
Spoilers, but if you're a basketball fan, you probably already know. Congratulations to the Thunder for winning the basketball.
It only happens when it rains.
Yeah.
As in the words of he's 17?
Probably.
Yeah.
But yes, Swerve on the Battleground podcast said you can't just be here in All Elite Wrestling just to be here. We, him talking about Swerve and Ospreay, have always had that same respect. We both push the bar and raise it to certain lengths that people second guess, can they come to All Elite Wrestling? People second guess, can they just sign a contract and make an impact in AEW? It shouldn't be like that. It should be like signing with the Lakers. You can't just get to the Lakers and expect to be starting five and run the floor and get playing time. You have to work. You have to be one of the best out there. Then you got to work. Can you come to the Lakers? And then you got to work that much harder to stay on the team. That's where we want to keep that standard in All Elite Wrestling. A high bar him setting for people within AEW and people looking to sign with AEW. And look, I do get the argument that not everyone can be world champion, but I don't think anyone gets into wrestling so they can. I mean, me and Hamlet probably would, so they can sit around in catering. But
I like food, to be fair.
But I like that, and I think obviously Swerve has incredibly high standards for himself and the likes of Will Ospreay, because look at them.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. Not everyone can do what those two can do in the ring, but nevertheless, I appreciate him setting the bar high.
Yeah, absolutely. They should. Everyone. That's the kind of competitive atmosphere that you really need to have if you want to make it to that level. I think Swerve is one of the guys in AEW, obviously. The Lakers is an interesting comparison. Obviously, all the best brands have purple and gold.
Yes.
On their menagerie. So I'm not a big Lakers fan, but respect it.
Go
immensely.
Bucks. That's what I say.
Yeah, go Magic. We never win. We suck. Although it might be good next season, actually. We signed Bane from Batman. It's going to be great.
I didn't realise that was allowed.
Traded away like 400 picks. Big Desmond.
The Bucks get the Joker.
That Joker, baby. Yeah, then we're screwed, actually.
Or the Riddler. That's who I want. I want the Riddler.
Yeah.
So can you shoot a 3, Tyrese Halliburton?
Why not? It's a good job we don't have knockoff names, otherwise you'd be signing the Diddler, and nobody needs that. Hey, diddle, the cat played the fiddle.
Cat did a fiddle.
The cat did a fiddle. The cow jumped over the moon.
Yeah.
The little dog laughed.
Yeah.
Because he saw a giraffe.
That's the way it goes.
And the dish ran away with the coo. What are we talking about? I have no idea. We're back.
High expectations for AEW within Swerve Strickland's outlook for this company, and understandable. Like I say, I do get that I'm saying like everyone needs to find their position, and sometimes you're just a jobber to the stars, or you're a sort of test to see if people can really make that step up. But yeah, you should have that
dog.
Yeah,
the dog in you. It's good. I like hearing about wrestling being a little cutthroat and being a little competitive and a little people jostling for spots and trying to work their way up. And there's, look...
Top of that card is stacked.
Yeah, it really is. And there's positions for everyone. Jobbers are important. Main eventers are obviously important. There's roles and positions for everyone. It's cool to hear about the big dogs being super competitive and going after it. I like hearing stuff like this.
Yeah, Swerve Strickland has very high standards, not just in terms of his wrestling, but his after parties as well. He's going to be at Switch in Disco
Look at that.
when we're on tour in August. We're doing gigs in Glasgow and London following the AEW shows for Dynamite and Forbidden Door. And all over the UK following the WWE tour as well. If you want tickets, dice.fm is where you need to head to for that. And if, like me and Andy, you just bloody love America and you're like, I need more America in my life. Or if you're an American, you're like, I love bloody Blighty and I want to see what it's like over there. Well, best way to experience that is probably by experiencing that country's Netflix. And how do you get the best version of that? Well, that's with our friends at NordVPN, who have an amazing deal going on for you right now. 76% off and a $50 Amazon gift card just for you if you sign up. If you want to know more details about that, just click the link in the description. An amazing deal. Check it out.
It's an absolute steal. And if, like me, you play as a Nord in Skyrim, you're doubling up.
Hey, there you go.
VPN. Wonder if do they have VPNs in Skyrim? They should. Protect it.
Is that the one with the dragon?
Yeah, exactly.
The Elderly Scrolls, is that right?
Elderly Scrolls.
Running back. I don't know.
I mean, to be fair,
I just finished Spider-Man, so...
We've all grown elderly waiting for the new one to come out. I think there's like 7 episodes.
What's coming out first, that or GTA?
Oh, GTA. At least that has a release date.
Oh, okay.
These MFs showed a teaser trailer for the new Elder Scrolls like 7 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
And then nothing. It was like, the shot was like just some grass, like a valley. And it was like, Elder Scrolls coming soon. Nothing.
Okay.
Since then, they've released about 20 versions of Skyrim as well. So
is that the one with the Thomas the Tank engine instead of dragons?
You can, you can swap it for Randy Savage as well.
Can you?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
It just flies around going, ooh, yeah. Right, Buddy Matthews, what's going on with him? I was actually just literally yesterday going, oh yeah, where's Buddy Matthews?
Yeah.
He's been injured a while. What's going on with him? Here's an answer. He's been on Instagram Live and he's not doing too great in his recovery, unfortunately. So a couple of months ago, he was interviewed by Chris Van Vliet and he said he was about 85% ready. He's been out of action since Grand Slam Australia in February when he wrestled.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, he wrestled Little Kazu for the Continental Championship. It was a bit of a bittersweet one because while it was cool seeing Buddy doing that in Australia, obviously, he was injured, and that sucks. But he's been on Instagram Live. He's on a lot of streaming and social things.
Mm-hmm. I've seen him.
He's on that scene. And he was, I'll just read to you what he said. The ankle is not recovering as well as I thought it would be. There's no mobility to it. If I can't have mobility, I can't move properly. Once it hits 3 months without healing, it becomes chronic. I thought I would be back in the ring in April. So he's at the point where he sounds like he's hit a bit of a wall in terms of his recovery. I was just sitting there legitimately in my house thinking about the Hounds of Hell entrance and how cool that was. Like the first one and obviously subsequent ones, but with the orange and the red and the flames and everything and the Eyes of the Lord entrance music and all of this stuff. It was crazy. It was awesome. We don't have it. But look, I'm sure we will see Buddy back when he's good and ready. It just sucks because he's had like a few, injuries here and there. And I like him.
He's so talented, Buddy Matthews. And yeah, it's one of those things. And the way his offense works, yeah, you can't really go on there with a bit of a broken wheel. And I'm not a medical professional, but I can understand where he's coming from there. Of like, right, if it healed now, we'd be fine. And being 85%, obviously good. But man, like you don't want to risk it, and B, it must be so frustrating. I mean, the only thing you can relate to it is like if you've sprained your ankle in the past or whatever.
I sprained my ankle 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and you've been training for the Great North Run. It's like getting back out there and
which is like it's like 1% of what Buddy's suffering.
Oh, absolutely,
from, But yeah, it's a pain in the ass. It's a real, and like you say, his style is so athletic and so explosive. It's dependent on him being a tremendous athlete, right? Like a lot of what he does is really punchy and impactful. So it's not like he can just go in there and, he's not a work-a-hold kind of wrestler. He's not MJF wrestling Mystico in Arena Mexico, which is a style that I think rules, by the way. It's different. It's a different style.
Yeah. It'd be weird to see him doing that.
So the one silver lining is obviously we still have Brody King on TV, kicking ass. We still have Julia Hart. But I do miss Buddy Matthews. I think the Hounds of Hell is a really cool little tag team. And like I always liked the House of Black all the way, beginning to end. Loved it. Start to finish. Never fully... the Malachi leaving stuff never wore on me like it has a lot of people. So I love all these people and I want to see them back kicking ass. And,
yeah, me too.
And hey diddle diddle, the dog ran away with the fiddle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it though. Like I would never sit here and say, oh well, you're 85%. Basically, come back and work through it because the danger then is that you make it even worse. You make it like not just a long-term injury, but a lifelong injury. You can't risk it with these sorts of things. So best wishes.
You only have 2 ankles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can't buy a new one. I don't know what I was going to say there.
You're playing Football Manager and the player has a little orange injury beside them. It's like you can technically play them, but then you weigh it up. It's like you do play them full, and then they're out for like 9 months. You just got to take your time. You got to take your time with these things.
Vincenzo Montella takes time, but he will be worth it in the end.
You can give them injections.
That's how long ago it was I was playing Football Manager. Vincenzo Montella was my guy.
You can give them injections these days.
Can you?
It's like before the game, but then if you give them the injection to play through the pain, they get pissed off with you. And it's like, well, to be fair, I've just plied you with medication without asking. So fair enough, perhaps.
Could just do that thing that a mate of mine did, because we used to play Football Manager all the time and like talk about what we were doing. I was managing Roma, for example, in this. He came in and I was like, how's Football Manager going? He's going, great, won the league. Won the league, that's amazing. Yeah, won the league undefeated. Undefeated, incredible. He said, yeah, whenever I just lost a game, I just restarted it. Well, then, what's the point of playing the game then?
What's the purpose?
I've been playing the same game for 7 years because it's impossible.
You might as well go into a spreadsheet and type in, I won the title.
Yeah, you can edit stuff, can't you? Oh, looks like Messi, Ronaldo and Neymar all play for my team now.
Yeah.
Weird that they would have signed for Chesterfield, but...
20s for everything, what's going on? Gee whiz.
Right, finally, let's talk about the Motor City Machine Guns. Really intriguing development with this recently. I saw Sean Ross Sapp teasing this online and excited to read more about it. Basically, people were talking to him about, or putting over how they would have loved to have seen Motor City Machine Guns, apologies, go to AEW, and Sean was like, maybe got a little bit of an update on Fightful about how they would have been booked had they gone to AEW. They obviously went to WWE and won tag team titles very quickly indeed. But yeah, Fightful did confirm last year that Saban and Shelley had discussions with AEW, and whilst they were in talks and they had plans for a Young Bucks versus Motor City Machine Guns tag team title feud for, it says here, the big pay-per-view, which I assume they mean All In, because they subsequently say that they decided to go with FTR and Acclaimed, of course, for that show. But I do like calling it
the big pay-per-view.
The big pay-per-view.
The big one.
But yeah, they discussed it, basically, and then it all went a bit radio silent, and I think everyone, including AEW, assumed, right, well, they're going to the Fed, and that's exactly what happened. As I mentioned, very quickly winning tag team gold in there, and now battling with the likes of the Wyatt Six, a scary group within WWE. But yeah, very interesting to hear what could have been for the Motor City Machine Guns. I'm sure that match with the Young Bucks would have been an all-timer.
It's a pretty good pitch as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can come and work Wembley and wrestle the Young Bucks. That's a pretty solid. That's a pretty solid pitch from any prospective free agent. I was actually like, when all this was playing out, because it was interesting because it initially seemed like they were going to go with AEW and then it swung all the way over to WWE. I was quite interested in that. The main factor I was judging it from, like, in terms of what I thought they were going to do, not a fan thing or like what I wanted them to do, but what I thought they were going to do, is that Alex Shelley, I believe, still has a career as like a physical therapist. And like a big thing for him used to be that he wants to work wrestling around that rather than the other way. So I was quite actually surprised when he went to WWE, but then again, it's like, hold on, they look, if AEW made him a really good offer, the WWE probably did as well.
Yeah.
Ultimately, my perspective on this is that I'm just quite happy seeing them in big spotlight, because they've been awesome for like years, like 15, 20 years. You can go way back to like some of the TNA stuff with Speed Muscle. It's like a 7-minute match. It's incredible. It's really short and really snappy, and it's so fast. You should watch that if you've not seen it before.
Paparazzi Productions, they were with Nash.
All kinds of chaos, man, going across the board. But they are one of the best tag teams of their generation, and it's nice seeing them get their flowers.
Yes.
From groups of fans who maybe had not seen them before.
Exactly,
I think that's cool.
I'm just really happy, quite right, that they are getting their flowers and getting their big payday, because they've deserved it for so many years. as you may have picked up on many of these videos, it wasn't a great taker in of wrestling outside of WWE growing up, but one of the few people or teams I knew about were the Motor City Machine Guns. Like, I just thought they were absolutely incredible, and thought they would have gone to a bigger company sooner rather than later. And absolutely, former tag team champions in the WWE. I've no doubt they may well win them again sometime. I think the heel run could be really fun for them very soon. And they could still go back to AEW, I suppose. Not go back, but go to AEW at some point. They're still amazing in the ring, despite their
still very good,
the miles on their clock. And congratulations to them. I do hope we do get to see the Young Bucks Motor City Machine Guns match one day again.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, it's one of these things where, like, I'd have been told, like, if they just stayed in TNA forever, sick, yeah. Like, I think more talent should be shared around the major wrestling promotions, and obviously...
Sabin's been a world champion, hasn't he?
Exactly, and obviously they're very tenured there and everything. But it's nice seeing them get the spotlight, and it's nice seeing a new generation of people discover them.
Yeah.
So hey, shout-outs to those guys.
I've no doubt they're really beneficial for the SmackDown tag scene as well. Like, people like Fraxium and that, working with them will only benefit, so that's awesome.
Absolutely. It's a good situation for sure. But hey, thanks for joining us today. If you enjoyed this video, there's another one on your screen right now. It's the algorithm thinks you're going to love it.
Oh, it's amazing.
Best for viewer, it says. So hey,
give it a click.
If it's not best for viewer, you take that up with Alan.
Alan YouTube.
Alan YouTube. He'll sort you out. Alan at youtube.com. That's how you get hold of him. Bye.